Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Friday, July 11th, suggest some bombshells up ahead as Martin Richardson acts unhinged, while his cousin, Chelsea Hamilton, is up to something sketchy and the Articulettes fall apart. Although the Articulettes have been on shaky ground for a long while thanks to their history and the reason they broke up in the first place. BTG spoilers for the July 11th episode note that Anita Dupree will be at odds with her bandmates, Sharon Winger and Tracy Tyler, and this latest argument could derail their reunion plans for good. Sounds like the threesome could call everything off, but as this has been teased in the past, it's likely they'll mend fences and continue with their effort for a reunion concert. Across town, Chelsea will do something shady that has her gal pal, Dr. Madison Montgomery, doubting their relationship. Does this have to do with Allison? Chelsea's ex-girlfriend reappeared out of the blue some weeks back, wanting to reunite, but Chelsea stood her ground. She's quite happy with the good doctor and told Allison so. With that said, Allison does seem like the persistent type, so could she try and make a move? Will Madison see Chelsea and Allison in a compromising position? This may not even be something Chelsea wants, and she could push Allison away. However, if Madison catches a glimpse of the two being inappropriate, she could jump to the wrong conclusion. These types of scenarios are what soap opera drama is made of. Meanwhile, Beyond the Gates, Friday, July 11th, indicates that Martin will go to extreme lengths to protect his family. He's been unhinged lately, and fans know he has a darker and violent side when triggered. So what exactly will he do, and will Kenneth be his target? After all, Kenneth shook Martin earlier this week when he caught him at his home playing chess with his son, Tyrell Richardson. Kenneth was supposed to be taken care of, but thanks to a fumble by Joey Armstrong's right-hand man, Randy Parker, the busboy ended up unscathed. Kenneth's move with Tyrell was meant to scare Martin, and he even proceeded to quadruple his blackmail price tag, which has left Martin reeling. Beyond the Gates, spoilers imply that Martin could end up crossing a very dangerous line in order to take care of the Kenneth situation. But what kind of repercussions would the congressman have to face if he did anything illegal? Thursday's episode begins at Orphe Jeans, where an unlikely duo is sitting down for a chat. Well, they're not really sitting down together as much as Leslie is forcing Haley to listen to her complain. "I think we have something in common," Leslie says, and while Haley highly doubts this, she's curious enough to keep listening. "No one around here wants to talk to me either." Haley still isn't giving Leslie the time of day until she says the magic words. "Those Dupree sisters have done a number on us," which gives them a common enemy. "What's that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend?" Leslie says. "So friend, how are we going to help each other?" Haley says that, unlike Leslie, she never set out to hurt anyone. She loved the Duprees like family, and she never intended to fall in love with Bill. But as Leslie points out, Haley didn't need to buy a home in Fairmont Crest and get married at the country club. "Girl, you a whole wrecking ball," Leslie points out. Haley leaves for a doctor's appointment, but Leslie isn't alone for long. Nicole enters the diner and accepts Leslie's invitation to join her. After all, as Nicole points out, they have a lot to catch up on. She tells Leslie that Laura is back to work, once again asking if Leslie is ready to confess to running her off the road. "Okay, I confess that I don't understand this obsession of yours," Leslie says. "If you actually believe that I targeted your personal assistant just to get my daughter a job, come on." Leslie reminds Nicole that all of the evidence against her is circumstantial. Leslie then volunteers to show Nicole a dress she has at home that's covered in Ted's, memories. She also reminds Nicole that while she was injecting herself with hormones and struggling with miscarriages, Leslie and Ted were humping like bunny rabbits. However, when Nicole accuses Leslie of trapping Ted to keep him, she denies purposely getting pregnant. At Ted's office, not even a cinnamon latte can fix Eva's apparent screw-up. Because she didn't schedule an accreditation renewal, Ted's practice has to pay a hefty fine and go through a reapplication process. But wait, isn't Kat the one who told Eva to ignore the notification about very renewal? This was a setup. Ted summons Kat to his office to find out what went wrong, an opportunity she uses to throw Eva under the bus. Kat says she was clear about the importance of renewing the clinic's accreditation, and that Eva just doesn't understand the importance of her job. Kat says she's willing to stick around until Eva becomes competent, if that ever happens. To his credit, Ted does ask Kat if she deliberately misled Eva into screwing up, but she insists she wouldn't do anything to hurt the clinic. He also tells Kat not to be so hard on Eva, before excusing himself to meet Nicole for coffee. With Ted gone, Eva returns to the office to call Kat out. "Proud of yourself?" she asks. "I know what you did." Kat plays dumb, acting like Eva simply misunderstood her. She also denies being jealous of Eva's relationship with Ted. "You're trash, and you always will be," Kat tells her, "just like your criminal mother." Eva also has some choices words for Kat, calling her a spoiled, selfish little bitch who only cares about herself. Eva says she's glad this happened, because now she knows where she stands with Kat, and she'll never fall for another stunt again. "Who knows, maybe I'll take a lesson from my crazy-ass mama and pay you back the way you deserve," she says, flicking Kat on the nose for good measure. Back at Orphe Jeans, Nicole and Leslie are still at each other's throats. Literally. First, Leslie starts talking smack about Kat, calling her a snotty little brat and an irritating child. This irks Nicole, but she maintains her composure. However, her chill doesn't last long. "He's so tired of you," Leslie says of Ted. "He just can't bear you anymore, because he's free of you now, Nicole. Free of someone who's too stupid to know when she's being lied to over and over." That's when Nicole totally loses it, grabbing Leslie by the throat and choking her out right there in the middle of Orphe Jeans. Naturally, Ted arrives just in time to pull the two women apart. "We have nothing to say, Ted, not anymore," Nicole tells him as she walks out. "Why don't you take your friend Dana here back to your hotel room and have a nice talk? Although talking apparently isn't what you two do best." Leslie asks Ted for a ride home, claiming that she's too dizzy to drive, and he foolishly agrees. Over at the Garland Memorial Nurses Station, the diagnosis is awkward. Ashley and Shanice attempt to go about their business as usual, but it doesn't take long for them to start fighting about their night at Uptown. Shanice tells Ashley that her evening with Derek was merely a thank you for being a great first responder. Besides, it's not like Ashley was sitting at home alone, she was out with Andre. So what's the big deal? Things go from bad to worse when Ashley starts spiraling and tells Shanice to shut up, forgetting that Shanice is still her superior at the hospital. And just like that, along comes Derek, asking, "Is this a bad time?" Shanice and Derek flirt up a storm via some hands-on physical therapy, while Ashley rolls her eyes at the desk. But Ashley's attention turns to a different matter when Haley arrives at the hospital. She's allegedly there for a follow-up after her last ultrasound, but as Ashley remembers, Haley never actually got an ultrasound. Is this just another lie? Ashley half listens to Haley's concerns about cramping, but she's still distracted by Shanice and Derek. She even starts talking loudly about the time she and Andre helped deliver a baby, practically screaming about what a great guy he is. It's honestly embarrassing. Haley then lets Ashley know that her appointment went well, and she'll be sure to invite her to the baby shower. For the real baby, that totally exists. Is Danny and Pamela's modeling agency already sunk? Pamela can count their social media followers on one barely manicured hand, and she's desperate to generate some industry buzz. Suddenly, inspiration strikes. The solution is Danny? What this agency needs is Danny Dupree front and center, Pamela tells her. Danny hates the idea, reminding her that she hasn't modeled in years, but Pamela says it's like riding a bike. She just has to get back on. Speaking of riding things, Andre angrily storms into Danny's kitchen, demanding answers about their dramatic night at Uptown. Pamela wisely excuses herself to let Andre and Danny fight, and fight they do, until Danny gives him this reminder. You can waste your time with girls, or you can let a woman rock your world. It's your choice. With that, their clothes are off, and they're up in Danny's bedroom. The Beyond the Gates What to Watch moments for Friday, July 11th, 2025. Spell trouble for core characters. Martin finds himself in a desperate situation. Meanwhile, the cracks continue to form in Chelsea and Madison's relationship. Speaking of shaky relationships, the Articulettes are at odds once again. Martin will find himself in a desperate situation. He will take extreme measures to protect his family. His subconscious has been working overtime to keep the secret under the rug. However, his dark past could come to haunt him and affect his entire family. There are flashes of a fatal accident. Someone got killed. Does this mean that Martin is a murderer? If so, how will this affect his family? Martin doesn't want his secret to be exposed. His #1 goal is protecting his family. He will do whatever it takes, even if that means burying this secret away. But it could just come creeping back. But will it work? Or will it explode in his face? Meanwhile, Madison and Chelsea's relationship crumbled before it started. Our new favorite couple was headed for a split before their 1-month anniversary. Madison looks like she wants out, but she doesn't know how to leave, especially now that feelings are involved. This will continue to make things complicated. What also doesn't help matters is that Madison is more interested in Chelsea's family than she is in Chelsea. She could be up to something shady. Will we finally find out the truth? In Friday's episode, Madison will have doubts about being with Chelsea. Will she throw everything away so easily? The Articulettes are headed for another feud, which could affect their reunion concert. The trio can't move forward without thinking about the past. So, is a reconciliation too late? Will they be able to recover and move on? Or is all doomed? Beyond the Gate spoilers for Thursday, July 10th suggest some interesting moments in Fairmont Crest. Pamela Curtis has a saucy idea, while Catherine "Cat" Richardson tries to trap Eva Thomas. Plus, Nicole Richardson is done with another's antics. Read on to learn more about what's coming up on the CBS soap. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, July 10th reveal that Pamela will have an eccentric idea for the modeling agency she and Danny Dupree are launching. Danny's BFF marches to her own drum. So what has she come up with to ensure the success of their new project? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Across town, Kat will sabotage Eva where her new role at Ted Richardson's office is concerned. Of course, Eva replaced Kat, and she's determined to see her sister fail. She doesn't want anyone to think Eva is doing a better job than she did. Since Kat was in the role previously, if the BTG Weekly Preview is any indication, then Eva will catch Kat attempting to trap her, and things are about to get ugly between the two half-sisters. Lastly, Beyond the Gates. Spoilers for Thursday note that Nicole will officially be done with Leslie Thomas and her antics. As their daughters go at it during the July 10th show, it looks like Kat and Eva's moms may have a confrontation too. Will Leslie do something to poke at Nicole? After everything Ted's crazy mistress has done, Nicole will reach her boiling point. But what does that mean exactly? She's tried to ignore the woman, but that isn't working, so will she strike back? Nicole has class, so it doesn't seem like she would stoop to Leslie's levels. But anything is possible in the land of soaps, right? What are you looking forward to most for Thursday? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Tune into the new CBS soap regularly for all the drama, and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates news, updates, and spoilers. There was a lot of heat going on in the Thursday, July 11th episode of Beyond the Gates. Leslie tried to light a fire under Haley. She made the case for an epic team-up, but Haley didn't fall for it, yet. After their uptown awkwardness, Andre and Danny reconnected, leaving Ashley out in the cold. Meanwhile, the rookie nurse was green with envy over Shanice and Derek's physical therapy interactions. Nicole went toe-to-toe with Leslie, and Kat and Eva generated a volatile heat over Kat setting Eva up. Leslie made sure to clock some FaceTime with Haley at Orphe Jeans. She pointed out similarities, like how nobody in Fairmont Crest wanted to talk to either of them. And they've both done serious damage to the Dupree family, specifically Vernon and Anita's daughters. In the end, the two haven't joined up and created Team Leslie and Haley against the world. But that doesn't mean it won't happen down the road. Something tells us that when Haley gets into trouble, maybe with her fake pregnancy, then she'll need Leslie's talents. We knew Kat wasn't being nice to Eva out of the goodness of her heart. Kat set Eva up to make her half-sister look bad. And for a moment, it worked. But Ted tried to support both of his daughters. He didn't want to throw Eva under the bus, but he was frustrated. The snafu will cost him money, however. The Kat-Eva confrontation got pretty heated as the half-sisters stepped up to each other. Neither would back down. There's a big chance that these half-sisters will never call a truce or forge a positive relationship. The marquee matchup was Leslie versus Nicole at Orphe Jeans. Each woman got their digs in, and their hurtful words made maximum impact. Their one-on-one showdown originally looked like it would have the same energy as Kat and Eva's, but then the two women took things over the edge when Leslie kept talking about how insatiable Ted was back in the day, and how he still can't get her out of his mind today, and that she was too stupid to know when she had been lied to over and over. Nicole saw red and pushed Leslie into the booth behind her, and then went after her. Ted came in, and it had looked like he heard the vitriol Leslie spewed, but no, it sounded like he wanted to know what was wrong with Nicole. "Excuse us? What about Leslie?" Ashley and her passive-aggressive behavior with her boss, Shanice, was unprofessional and uncalled for. Even though she has every right to feel her feelings, she can't take them out on someone who is her boss. She just can't handle that Derek finally cut the cord and is trying to move on. He seemed lighter than he ever has before. Shanice didn't bother with Ashley's antics, however. When Derek showed up in need of help, it was Shanice to the rescue. She gave Derek some stretching tips and then sent him on his way. But Ashley was bothered and bewildered about the whole interaction, even though she had had a date with Andre the night before. She's lucky, though. She doesn't know that Andre and Danny reconnected in a big way at Danny's house. What were your favorite interactions of the episode? Let us know in the comments. Welcome to the Beyond the Gates YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Today was a masterclass in manipulation, taught by Leslie, and boy did she school Nicole. Leslie played her like a fiddle and got exactly what she wanted. Nicole was invited to join Leslie at a table in Orphe Jeans, which she accepted, thinking she could remain in control. She was so wrong. Leslie stressed Nicole out in several ways. The first was saying she didn't need trickery to get a sample of Ted's DNA. It was all over her blue dress in the closet. Wow. It struck a nerve, but Leslie wasn't finished. She went for the jugular by aiming real low. The next blow came when she said that while Nicole was at home, alone, having another one of her many miscarriages or injecting herself trying to get pregnant again, Ted and she were humping like bunny wabbits. He was not getting what he needed at home. Nicole was wild, and just as Ted appeared in the doorway, Leslie finished Nicole off by yelling she was too stupid to realize that she was getting lied to over and over again. Nicole lost it and crashed out, wrapping her hands around Leslie's throat and pushing her into a booth, trying to strangle her. Afterwards, Leslie winks at the camera. Game, set, and match. Oh, and in other news, Andre went around to confront Danny about the embarrassing scene at Uptown, and all it took was Danny saying, "You could mess around with little girls or let a woman rock your world." Andre was picking her up, they were kissing, and went to the bedroom to make love. Ashley, babe, you were forgotten in about 30 seconds. Want more details? We got you. Soap Central has the best full recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, July 11th, 2025. Discovering Kenneth in his house was more than enough to trouble the congressman, and in Friday's episode, Martin takes extreme measures to protect his family. Will Martin forbid Samantha and Tyrell to leave the house? Martin will need to enlist Smitty's help to do that. But Smitty wants answers, real honest answers, and not to be blown off. With Fridays being famous for having cliffhangers and a spike in the drama level, Martin might even purchase himself a gun and go after Kenneth himself. What Martin doesn't realize yet is how close to danger Smitty is, given what he's dug up so far, which has an extensive reach from the Senate to the local police. Chelsea and Madison have only been together for a hot minute and already have a hot chemistry together. So what is giving Madison pause for thought when it comes to their relationship? So soon after starting, Chelsea's ex has already made herself known and rudely interrupted their date night. It appears that Allison won't take no for an answer and could be a significant problem. In Friday's episode, Madison has some major doubts when it comes to being with Chelsea. Will this couple manage to stay together despite the drama and goings-on in Fairmont Crest? Chelsea needs to assure Madison that the past won't become prologue. The least surprising spoiler this week is that there are problems with the Articulettes reunion, and a battle between Anita and Sharon looks likely to be the root cause. Has Sharon given up on her sneaky plan to use the tour and Anita's connections to relaunch her career? Or has Tracy talked her out of it? Sparks always fly when these three ladies get together, and in Friday's episode, the Articulettes are at odds, which could derail their reunion concert.